We spoke to him about a number of issues, including the changing role of the regulator with respect to the evolutionary manner in which the telecom landscape was growing in Pakistan.
If we go back like 5-6 years, the ecosystem was very different. The voice was the dominant service. But today, the voice is not dominant. It has changed all along to in a direction that where we are believing in e-services and m-services. So I meant to say that commerce, health, education. So it's all paradigm is shifting. So the ecosystem is also changing. So we are more focused towards the data and applications, the contents. You may be hearing every day about the content stores, apps store, OE, Nokia, Siemens. So this is changing. The players are changing. So the telecom operators, they are not really anymore of an importance more than a carrier. They are not anymore a service provider, because NGN and all this change in the technology happening is so rapid that the ecosystem is changed. So contents and apps are becoming more and more relevant and more important. While the carriers are going backwards, they're going in a drop scene. You don't find them anymore an important element. The important element is as long as the connectivity is concerned, okay, telecom operator is there. But when it comes to the services, it has changed. So the ecosystem is changing, and I think it is becoming more and more challenging for the regulators. Earlier, we had to look only on to voice. Okay, is connected or not connected? Is it good or is bad? But today, it's not the case. It is, you have to look into it that, okay, what sort of contents are provided? Is there contents are objectionable? Is there contents are okay? Then you look into that, okay, is these applications are relevant or they are not relevant? Where the competition is going on, whether the competition you can regulate. Interconnection is becoming a very important for us, because it's not anymore 64K connectivity, even connectivity. It's more of like a capacity-based connectivity, element-based connectivity, services-based connectivity. So it's changing again. And if we talk about today, then security becomes a very relevant. The privacy becomes a very relevant for the regulator. So challenges are different. So I think it's all paradigm is shifting.
But the discussion of whose purview content and apps come under has always been one having conflicting interests. Who regulates the content? The PTA or PEMRA? Or is it someone else?
If we go back 1.5 years, we organized an event in Islamabad that was on the content and application. That was the very first event we organized, and we invited all the stakeholders, the IT industry, we invited the academia, we invited the telecom industry. And we come to know very first time, these stakeholders are seeing each other at the very first time. Because the contents, the operator used to think, oh, content is my domain. No one would talk about contents. I would give only 5% or 2% to a content provider. I would keep 97% revenue myself. So that was the very first time, we talked about all these issues. And just last week, and we discussed, and Telenor organized a content competition. So see, just in 1.5 years has changed. Earlier they were not ready to give up a space to the content provider. Now they're talking about 50% revenue sharing. So they have accepted it that, okay, the things are changing. We are going to be only a connectivity provider. The services are going to come from all sort of directions. There could be a small operator, there could be an aggregator, there could be government service provisioning coming through the NGN. So they have realized now, and I think it's not only a Pakistan trend, but it's a global trend. All the big operators, the Vodafone, the Telenor, they have realized it, and they are moving out of this content business. The technology has changed. Okay, the systems have changed, the networks have changed. There's not anymore a distinction between a network, this is a broadcasting network, or this is a telecom network, this is an internet network. This is just one network. Connectivity. Contents may be coming from the video, may be coming from the broadcasting, coming from e-commerce, or all that. So it's all integrated. So it's not anymore a boundary between telecom networks, broadcasting networks. So this is a ground reality. The regulation has to adopt this convergence, because if you don't, then I think it has consequences. Myself, I believe in that there should be a converged regulatory regime in Pakistan. How long it would take and how it would start is a matter of the government policy, how they devise it, and what would be the course of action. But being a regulator, I have a strong feeling that this is going to happen, because it's a global trend. If you look around all the good regulatory regimes around us, like Australia, like Malaysia, Singapore, all of them are converged regulatory regime, and it's going to happen. Maybe not today, maybe after a couple of years, maybe 3 years. It really depends on the policy and the decision of the government.
The chairman PTA spoke briefly about various licensing regimes for m-commerce, the bank-led model and the telecom model.
In Pakistan, we have implemented the bank-led model. So it was difficult for our consumers, because it's not really, they are not getting enough support, and the operators are having difficulties as well. So we have actually come out with a solution which is a win-win for everyone. So it's called third party. It's a kind of switch who is going to connect the telecom operator and the bank. So authentication still would be coming from the bank, but it would be kind of an integrated platform. So I hope we are going to have a very good meeting very soon with the State Bank on this to finalize it, and I believe this would be last meeting. So once we are, though, it will be a combined regulation.